I'm getting tired of the city, all the noise and the mess. Want a new beginning and a new address. Why don't we run away to somewhere where the birds still sing? I want the green, green grass and a country house in a place where my face ain't known. And in the green, green grass it becomes a past without the rain.
Pub for lunch today.
Marlene, I am very busy, and please don't interrupt my muse.
You're not still trying to write your autobiography, are you?
Yes, and it's more than just an autobiography. It's a life manual. This could be an important book for future generations. In years to come, people are going to read this manuscript and decide to take a... what do you call it?
Overdose?
A master's degree. Yes, this could be a classic.
You tried to write one before and it was stupid.
Did you actually read it?
Yes, and it made me realise Jeffrey Archer's not so bad.
That was just practice. This is the real thing.
God, who needs night owls?
This is the memoirs of Aubrey Boyce, entitled I Done It My Way. Tyler, if you don't stop that god-awful noise, I can guarantee the next time you see that guitar, it'll be on an X-ray. This is the story of Aubrey Boyce. A heartwarming tale of rags to riches. A backstreet urchin to landed gentry in one fascinating lifetime.
Don't you dare threaten to put that guitar somewhere horrible in Thailand.
Dear God, I'm trying to write my autobiography.
And Tyler is trying to record his new song.
I wonder if Churchill had these sort of problems. If anyone needs me, I shall be in the toilet. Of course, like ordinary people, my life hasn't always run to plan, and I've experienced upheavals and even at times grave danger, but I always faced each threat with fortitude and courage.
What are we supposed to do about it?
Well, I'd switch it off if I was you, Del. The main petrol line runs right underneath there.
Lightning.
Wait! Someone get some water!
I think it's unfair to say that everything he touches goes wrong. Our coach has just blown up.
Right, Wayne, let's go.
Everyone duck!
Why?
Relax!
Get a bloody move on, Wayne!
Barbara Boyce, the owner.
Yes. I faced each threat and disaster with resolve and stoicism. I think that sums up my life. I've always had a stiff upper lip.
And that sums up mine.
Of course, I didn't face my ordeals alone. Which brings me to my friends. Friendship has always been paramount to me. There was a little gang of us, the Peckham Pack, as we were known. We went through school together, and we survived in those mean streets together. And even when we were older and doing business deals with each other, we never forgot our friendship.
You know what happened to the real Trigger, don't you? Roy Rogers had him stuffed.
All right, then. 14.
14. Leave it out. 5.
12.
6.
10.
9.
8.
Done.
That's the way to do business, Dave.
I want to buy everyone in a pub a drink. Whatever they want. Now, there's £1. And I want change.
Large cognac, please, Michael.
Well done, Del.
Thanks.
Nicely played. Where'd you get those 4 bloody aces from?
Same place you got them kings. I knew you was cheating, Boycey.
Oh, yeah. How?
Because that wasn't the hand that I dealt you. I hope you won't take offence by what I'm about to say, but me and Rodney think you've murdered Marlene and buried her in the garden.
How dare you? You know how much I've spent on that garden. You think I'm going to dig along with it?
Do you remember when we was kids? Used to go over the ponds to play at pirates. You were Dan Tempest. Trigger was Long John Silver. And what character did I play, Del?
You played the bloke what walked the plank.
Oh, yeah. The bloke that walked the plank. I was always the bloke that walked the plank, wasn't I? I must have been in and out of that pond more times than a duck's head. I always wanted to be Bluebeard.
Well, you should have said so.
I did say, but you would never let me.
I did. Once.
Oh, yeah, I remember. That was the day Bluebeard had to walk the plank.
Yes, cultivating friendship has always been one of my great strengths. But eventually, time and the pace of the big city began to weigh heavily on me.
The Driscolls are being released in 3 weeks' time.
Are you released? In God's name, how?
They've got an appeal being heard, and the word is they're going to walk. Apparently, all the prosecution witnesses have changed their statements. And I don't know if you've heard, but the police are the Supergrass.
Really?
And Scotland Yard accidentally gave the Driscoll brothers' lawyer the name of the Supergrass. I'd like to be in his shoes, would you?
No. So, I bought a large farm in Shropshire. Unfortunately, my dear wife was in complete favour of the move.
I am not moving from this house.
The Driscoll brothers are going to be released from prison in a fortnight's time.
What's that matter to you?
Well, the thing is, they don't like me.
Nobody likes you, but you never moved to Shropshire.
I so do not want to live in the country. I hate the country.
As I've explained to you, darling, it's either that or Daddy gets killed.
Mum, all my friends are in Peckham.
Yes, I understand, Tyler, but... Now, what's that saying I'm looking for? Oh, yeah. Shut up. Now, we must remember that we are moving to a small village, a close-knit community who most probably view all newcomers with a bit of suspicion. So it is important that we don't do anything to draw attention to ourselves. And to our surprise and obvious delight, we acclimatised to country culture and the ways of our new environment with remarkable ease.
Miss.
our lives were further enhanced when we discovered we had inherited a full retinue of farm stock.
I mean, it's not like Rocky's come out of the closet, is it? It's not like he sat down with the vet and he said, you know, I'm coming out, I'm a gay bull and I'm proud of it and I want the world to know, is it?
No.
No.
Maybe Rocky don't fancy none of them cows, huh? You know what it's like, you go to a discotheque and it's full of women and you don't fancy none of them. Or maybe none of the women fancies you. So maybe it ain't Rocky. Maybe it's the cows.
So what you're saying is I haven't got a gay bull?
Ah.
We've just got 300 lesbian cows.
It's possible, ain't it?
You've always been a woman.
Of course she's always been a woman. You haven't, you? Of course I have. Well, of course she has. Have you been helping yourself to that drink?
No.
When I was younger, I did a bit of modelling.
What, Clay?
I ruined my marriage one day when I went and opened my mouth.
Yes, I can see how that could happen.
We haven't spoken for 7 years, but she's happier now.
Well, that's understandable.
She smiles a lot and laughs. I've looked through the window and caught her.
Wait! What? That tree over there. It looks familiar. I'm not very much mistaken.
No. No, I am very much mistaken.
Trouble, ain't it? They all look the same. It's like when you watch one of them nature programmes and you see millions of penguins and you think, how do they know who's who?
And I was a beauty queen.
Really? I mean, really?
Yes, it was when I worked for the local council. I was Miss Parks, Cemeteries and Allotments. And do you know what the runner-up said?
Bah.
Get out of this room! Go on! Get out!
People often ask me, do you have any flaws? And I usually reply, no. Although I do confess to one weakness. I am my worst critic.
You're not?
That is why, in this book, I will not be writing solely about me.
Thank God for that.
I will be referring to incidents that occurred to family and friends, and hopefully from this we will learn the things one should do.
Like switch your tape recorder off and go to the pub for lunch.
And things one shouldn't do.
Like write your autobiography.
Companionship and the support of a good wife is vitally important to a man's success. I once read. And I have always been lucky because I've had Marley. Well, obviously, she's not always been with me. It just feels like that. But some of my friends weren't as lucky as me.
You ever thought of getting married, Trick?
No. I haven't met the right person yet. But I've always had this sort of image of my perfect woman. Sort of my dream girl.
What's she like?
Oh, she's nothing to look at. Very plain. Little scar on her chin where she had her wart removed.
She thought I was weird. Well, not so much weird, more warped.
Warped?
Yeah. See, I've got this fantasy. Uniforms that turn me on.
Uniforms? You mean like postmen and that?
Women in uniforms. Nurses, air hostesses, and my favourite's, police women.
Police women? Like they nick you. What you're trying to tell me is that this Monica bird, she sort of like didn't go a bundle on this dressing up idea. Is that right?
Well, I didn't tell her. I tried to do it without her knowing. Like, last week was her birthday, right? So I bought her one of them blue serge suits that Paddy the Greek was selling, right? And I'd already got the hat, you know, white with navy blue peak. And then for Valentine's Day, I was going to get some black stockings and some of them sensible walking brogues, right? Then for Christmas, it was
going to get a whistle and a set of handcuffs. No, you were lucky she gave you the elbow when she did. Those panda cars cost a bomb, you know.
Like to meet a nice woman, though.
Yeah, me too. Take her out, give her something to eat.
Yeah. Get to know each other a bit, you know? Might like each other. Then who knows, in time, maybe she might do a bit of ironing for me.
When a man reaches a certain age, he cannot help but begin contemplating his own mortality. And we all ask the inevitable question: how long has God, in his wisdom, allotted us on this mortal coil? A short while ago, I faced that moment. My blood pressure was rising, my pulse was increasing, my cholesterol count was sky high. The only thing getting lower was my chances of survival.
You know, we always spoke about going skiing in Switzerland.
Did we?
Yes! Look, let's go a bit mad. Let's fly to Italy, rent a car, drive through the Mont Blanc tunnel right up to the front door of our own little Swiss chalet. St Moritz, Boise, at Prosky, snow, mountains. What do you say?
I'd never make it.
Oh, for God's sake! Boise, how many times have I got to tell you there's nothing wrong with you?
Look at him. I mean, his brain went years ago. Now his legs are gone. There's only the middle bit of him left.
We could take him to Lord's.
Lord's? Lord's? He don't even like cricket.
No, they say there's a bright light at the end of a long tunnel. But then what? What happens when you reach the end? When you finally emerge? Is it all clouds and little birds tweeting?
Hope so.
And is there someone waiting there to meet you?
Most probably.
Well, then what?
Well, I suppose he takes you round the chalet and shows you where you hire your skis.
And whilst on the subject of illness, it was shortly after moving to the country that I suffered something of a personal crisis. Something that I have never mentioned to anyone before, but an event I now feel I should share with my readers. I developed a strange dread of a rather everyday foodstuff.
They're just vegetables, Boise.
I know what they are. Just get them out of my house.
You've never been frightened of vegetables before.
No, because when we lived in London, they came the way God intended. In cellophane bags and out of freezers. Since we moved out of the country and I've seen them in their raw state, something's happened to me.
Look, they're just carrots. Potatoes. Leeks.
Stop it, Marley.
Garlic.
That's enough, Marley.
Onions.
Will you stop it, please? You don't think I'm going insane, do you?
Bit doolally, maybe, but...
Oh, it's just a phase. You know what it's like. You think about something for too long and it grows out of all proportion.
Yeah.
I've read up about it. It's just a phobia. But tomorrow is a fresh start. I'm going to wake in the morning, go out into those fields, look those vegetables in the eyes and say, you don't frighten me anymore. Hey, Marlene? Marlene?
See?
Marlene, I dreamt I was in bed and there was a big leak. No! You turned into a leak.
to a... You need help.
And so, a hypnotherapist was brought in who told us what I was suffering from was a condition called...
Lechanophobia. A fear of vegetables.
Is it common?
No.
Oh, good.
I can't understand how I got it.
Well, it's a phobia. You don't catch phobias or pass them on. They simply develop through misunderstandings, irrational fears, and sometimes subliminal events.
Is there anything you can do for me?
I'd like you to try regression.
Well, give her the prescription, she'll pop to boots.
No, it's not a medicine. It's a psychological procedure. I'd like to hypnotise you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Doc. I don't think any of that Paul McKenna lark's going to work with me. No, I read somewhere once that certain people cannot be hypnotised. People of strong will and high intellect.
At least let me try.
Well, if you want to waste your time, go ahead.
Your eyes are becoming very heavy.
That weren't as bad as you thought, was it?
No. That was very quick. Can you hear me, Aubrey?
Yes, I can hear you.
All is peaceful.
Can you hear me, Boycie?
Yes, I can hear you, Marlene.
When they're like this, you know, all sort of dopey, are they more open to suggestion than normal? You know, if you tell them to do something, they will.
I know where you're going with this. While he's in a hypnotised state, we persuade him that he loves vegetables.
No. There's a new Cartier watch. I know he wouldn't normally buy it.
Mrs. Boyce, there's a time and a place for that sort of thing.
Can you think of a better time and place?
It would be against the ethics of my profession. Now, can we move on? Aubrey, we're now going to travel back into your life. And the years are rolling back, back.
Mum, someone's wet my bed again.
No, you've gone too far. He can only be about 12.
Let's look at this a different way. Are there any particular vegetables that appear to have more of an effect on him than others?
Now you mention it, he went a bit funny when I mentioned onions.
Can you smell onions? Can you smell onions?
Now, it was 6 or 7 years ago he went a bit funny. Thought he could smell onions everywhere he went.
And was there a logical explanation for it?
Marlene, where's my hair gel?
Wherever you left it. Yeah, although I wasn't aware at the time. It's Marlene. Sorry to bother you, darling, but I'm going mad here. It's Boycie. Shut up. No. He keeps thinking that he can smell onions. It's got so bad, I can smell them as well when he's around. It started at my cousin's wedding, and... What's so funny?
And I squeezed this tube of onion puree into his hair gel. So, Boycie goes to the wedding smelling like a Big Mac.
Your poor husband must have been at his wit's end.
Yeah, he was. It was terrible.
Excuse me.
By Marlene Cartier watch. By Marlene Cartier watch. By Marlene... Look, you've got ethics because you're a therapist, but I ain't because I'm a chancer. By Marlene Cartier watch. By Marlene Cartier watch.
After the hypnotherapist did her work, my vegetable phobia disappeared. but I never got to the bottom of what had caused it. And I still worry that it may return one day. But at the time, I felt like celebrating, so I went out and bought Marlene a Cartier watch. People often say to me, "Sir, what is the secret of your success?" And I reply, caution. Yes, I've always taken great care in all that I do. And that is my advice to any would-be entrepreneurs who have chosen me as their role model. Think twice, double-check, and you will avoid the kind of mishaps certain people of my acquaintance have suffered. Derek, Harry died yesterday.
Harry died. Why didn't you tell us that out there instead of letting us come in here like that?
Yeah, I mean, we was going...
Completely slipped my mind. Strange what grief can do.
He did say she'd be wearing a red coat and a green hat, didn't he?
No, a green coat and a red hat.
Oh, bugger.
It's my wife.
Over there, look, over there. Careful. All right? Go on. Just dropping them off.
And that, dear readers, is the secret of my success. I am always way ahead of the game.
Boycie, Tyler finished that song.
I'll listen to it sometime in the next couple of years.
No, he didn't like it anyway, so he wiped it. Thing is, this morning, when he started, he couldn't find a cassette to record on, so he borrowed yours. If it wasn't his fault.
I'm getting tired of the city, all the noise and the mess. Why don't we run away to somewhere where the birds still sing?
Adultery and murder next year on BBC One in New Tricks. Over on BBC Three, stateside teenagers take on adult responsibilities in the new series Baby Borrowers US. While on BBC Four, Penelope Keith retraces a pioneering motoring journey.